This is Keith with Positively Osceola, and welcome to yet another episode of our Positively Osceola live show. So often we talk about what a blessing it is to have the guests in discussions that we have, and we do it very often, and it's really authentic. We get to speak with some amazing folks, and they're amazing for just a huge amount of reasons, but mostly because they're doing things that matter in the community. That is huge to us. They do things that change things in a positive way for so many of us. And today is certainly an example of that. And we have just a great guy and making a hugely positive difference with his team in St. Cloud and around Osceola County. So we want to welcome the Vice President of Orlando Health and the President of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, Mr. Brian Wetzel. How you doing?
Keith, what a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Well, I am sorry. Like I said earlier, I'm sorry it's taking so darn long. That's on me.
That's all right. It's happening now. That's all that matters.
It is. So, we'll talk a little before some folks start popping on here. So we are obviously deep into the winter months here in Central Florida.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Felt like it a little bit this morning again, too.
It kind of did, actually. I chuckle, but
a reminder to us that it's still only mid-February, right?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, maybe it's just me that's this way, but if it wasn't for watching news that covers northern states, I would kind of forget that it's cold up there.
Oh. Yeah, no doubt. They're getting another storm up there, as I understand it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So everything good in your world, family-wise? Everybody good?
Everything's fantastic. My wife could not be more thrilled that I'm back here in St. Cloud. We get to have lunch every once in a while on a weekday, which hasn't happened for us in a quarter century almost.
Yeah, that's a big deal, right? When it comes down to it.
Yeah. It's so nice to get a text from her and say, what are you doing for lunch? And I get to say, I happen to have an hour free, and we'll run over to the catfish place or, Chimentos or something, Krabby Bill's, and enjoy a nice lunch together. It's fantastic.
Yeah, right in St. Cloud.
Right here in St. Cloud. That's exactly right.
Well, we'll chat about that. We got some folks popping in, so if it's okay with you, we'll make this show official.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Again, we want to officially welcome our guest here today, and he would be the Vice President of Orlando Health and President of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, and that is Mr. Brian Wetzel. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the bio opening, and so for those who don't know, Brian's Vice President, as I said, of Orlando Health and President of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, where he's responsible for leading hospital operations and monitoring quality care to achieve organizational goals. Before that, Brian served as the president of Orlando Health Horizon West Hospital, where he is well known for building an exceptional leadership team that really spearheaded that hospital's success and awesome growth. Before that, he began his career in revenue management at Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, where he now has the unique opportunity to serve residents of the community that he calls home. So we really want to thank Brian, you being here today. I know you are a busy man. So thanks for taking a few minutes with us today.
Absolutely, Keith. I'm thrilled to be speaking with you on your site here. You and I have known each other for, probably 15 plus years at this point, and I appreciate you inviting me into your world.
You got it. And, I've got all the things I want to organize and speak about today, but I feel like in the beginning, I want to flip the whole thing and say, I remember when I heard that you were going to be the president of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, and I think I must have double taked, just kind of like, because, you know what I mean?
What are they thinking? That's what you were thinking.
That's not what I was thinking. No, that would be not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I thought, yeah, I mean, you're a humble man, so you're not going to like this, but I thought that's almost good to be too good to be true, because it's almost immeasurable. I mean, I'll just say it really is a huge thing to be able to look to leadership that understands the community, firsthand.
Yeah.
That's huge, right? It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's exactly right, Keith. My family and I, my mom and dad and my brothers and I moved to St. Cloud in 1983. And most of us have never left. My father has since moved to St. Augustine, and I've got a brother up in North Florida, but two of my four brothers are still here, and I've got nieces and nephews and children. And as a proud graduate of St. Cloud High School, right? I've got friends here that it's fantastic, Keith. I began, as you mentioned, I began my career here at Orlando Health almost 28 years ago. I'm in my 28th year now with Orlando Health, and I began my career in healthcare with Orlando Health here at St. Cloud Hospital back when Orlando Health owned it in the 80s to the very early 2000s. In 1996, I began my career here registering patients in the emergency department. And my goodness, if you'd have asked me then, would I ever have an opportunity to come back to my community and support this wonderful team of, committed and dedicated and disciplined caregivers here at St. Cloud Hospital? I'm not sure I would have seen that future, but I'm so thankful that Orlando Health has given me the opportunities that it has over these many years. And the universe makes these things happen, I think, right? I was very happy. I felt really good about the work that we were doing as a team out at Orlando Health Horizon West Hospital, which, if you don't know where Horizon West is, it's basically South Winter Garden out in West Orange County. But my lovely wife and I, Linda, we've been together since we were 19 years old, and we've lived in St. Cloud the entire time. And we were not going to leave St. Cloud, so I commuted really over 2 hours every day, Monday through Friday, for almost a quarter of a century before I was offered the opportunity to come back to my hometown and serve this fantastic team. And I could not be more thrilled. I like to think that I've always brought a certain enthusiasm and energy to my work, but I feel even more enthusiastic and energized caring for the people that I care most about.
Right.
My friends, my family, the people that I've grown up with. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, Keith, you'll probably appreciate this. My very first day here at St. Cloud Hospital, our wonderful Chief Operating Officer, Mark Lillis, took me for a tour of the facility because it'd been 25 years since I'd been here. And I ran into my 9th grade history teacher on the 2nd floor, and he had his 90-something-year-old mother here for care. And that only happens in your hometown hospital. It's so special to me to be here and doing the great work that this team is doing.
Yeah. My mom is, I think I've told you this before, my mom is 92, still lives by herself. She's extraordinarily able and sharp as a tack. And I think she could take me if it came down to it, she could probably take me. And she is right down the street from Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital. Will not move because she wants to be near her hospital.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's important. It should be important to all of us, and especially for your lovely mom who's been blessed enough to live 92 independent years. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
And that's Keith, you mentioned wanting to be close to Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, your mom, but the reality is, and I'll just be very honest because I think it's absolutely true, and I'm always try to be truthful, even when it's unpleasant. And for the 20 almost years that Orlando Health did not own St. Cloud Hospital, this hospital struggled from a reputation perspective. I know that because I lived here, and right. I'd hear my neighbors and others, speak about not wanting to come for whatever reason, just because of things that they'd heard that were not necessarily positive. And Keith, I have to tell you that since Orlando Health purchased back Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital back in July of 2020. So it's almost been, it's been about 2.5 years now. This July we'll celebrate 3 years. I could not be more pleased and proud of the great work that's taken place in restoring the confidence of this community and the wonderful care that this team is providing.
Awesome. So on that, I think it sounds like, but you don't want to ask you, so I don't forget to ask you this. So, and I want to share something. I know we were able to get a few pictures that maybe will fit into what you just said. But do you feel like, so the St. Cloud community, certainly Osceola County, we could say the whole Central Florida region without question, but specifically this portion of Osceola County is experiencing some of the most rapid growth, definitely in Osceola County, but in the Central Florida region.
Sure.
So do you feel like, do you look, talking to your wife, sometimes do you sit back and say, for a reason I gained all that experience, for a reason my skill sets were building so that when you came back to the community you live in, you were able to utilize those tools? Because what if you had only been here for that time? It could not have possibly come.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I feel so privileged to have been embraced in the way that I have by Orlando Health and our senior leadership team. They helped me achieve my bachelor's degree. They helped me achieve my master's degree. And moving from St. Cloud Hospital to our accounting offices, to Dr. Phillips Hospital, to Orlando Regional Medical Center. And then I spent almost 10 years supporting our Cancer Institute team, the fantastic work that takes place at the Orlando Health Cancer Institute. And then to be asked to open up our first brand new hospital in 40 years, the first hospital Orlando Health has opened in almost 40 years, out at Horizon West, was just a real thrill for me to do that. But the unfortunate thing was that it was 50 miles from my home, which, I had myself convinced that I could work there until I retired. Because I really did fall in love with that community and that team. But yeah, Keith, you're exactly right. If it were not for the many and varied opportunities and experiences that I've had through my time with Orlando Health, I would not have been in a position where I was asked to come back to my hometown and support this hospital. I like to think in the 28 years I've been in healthcare, I've been paying attention and learning and growing and understanding how great care is provided and how great teams are held to a standard and coached to that standard and encouraged to that standard. And that's what I'm finding here now. And as I mentioned, I've never felt more enthusiastic about the work that I've been able to do than I have since I came here in July. So I'm in my 8th month here at St. Cloud Hospital. And just the team is doing amazing things. They're so proud of who we are for this community and the care that we provide when patients trust us by walking into our facility. That I mentioned that's a real privilege and it's an honor, and we should behave as though it is. Then that matters to people, that we behave as though we understand it's an honor to serve those who trust us. So yeah, it's amazing how all of those years of experience have come back to allow me to support this wonderful team and serve my community.
Awesome. I've got a couple, I think that'll line up with what you just said. I've got a couple team photos. Let's see if this will fit in with what you just said.
Yeah, so that's a photo. Listen, this is just one of those things that is so important that my community understands is happening here at their community hospital at Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital. We just celebrated. We have 4 nursing units here at Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital. We have our West Wing unit, which is a medical and progressive care unit. And then we have our intensive care unit, where our sickest patients are cared for. And then we have a specific PCU unit and a specific medical unit. What this photo represents is us celebrating with our intensive care unit, the unit where our sickest, most acute patients are cared for, celebrating greater than a year without allowing one patient to acquire a hospital infection. That is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's unusual for any unit in any hospital. And by the way, Keith, in the entirety of all last year, Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, the team here only allowed 2 hospital-acquired infections and almost 7,000 discharges, which is a wonderful rate, and we're very proud of that. but our goal is zero. Our goal is zero hospital-acquired infections, because those are real things, and those are things that, as a care team, we manage whether or not a patient receives a catheter-associated urinary tract infection or a central
Right.
line arterial bloodstream infection, right? Or a case of C. difficile, right? There's fundamental practices that if we do in a very disciplined and consistent way, we can save patients the burden of that infection that are far too common in hospitals these days. So yeah, this photo is again of the larger intensive care unit team celebrating with that team their 000 award, as you mentioned.
Mhm.
No hospital inquired in those three categories, claudicalcia or C. difficile, for an entire year. And then just a couple of weeks ago, we were able to celebrate the same achievement with our West Wing team, where most of our post-surgical patients are cared for in our West Wing. Post-surgical care, medical care, and progressive care unit care is provided in that West Wing unit. And we were also, again, able to celebrate with them greater than 1 year without one hospital-acquired infection. That's absolutely fantastic. And by the way, not just to celebrate those two units, so far this fiscal year, and our fiscal year starts October 1st, we've not
Right.
allowed one patient at St. Cloud Hospital to acquire a hospital infection. So it's a really, really strong performance. And I think that's something this community should be very much aware of, so that when they think about whether or not we're doing the right things for our patients and delivering
Right.
high quality care, they can rest assured that we are.
Yeah, and I say this to other organizations that we know in the community, and we've got, I think, not just us, certainly other media outlets, and the community needs, I think, so I'll speak for myself. We need to do a better job of letting people know that that's happening, because you're busy doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time often to let people know, hey, check out what this team has been working towards together. Not even getting into the distractions of the world we've had the last couple of years, but those accomplishments happen and we don't know about it because you're busy accomplishing them, right?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Keith. You're exactly right. But I think, forums like the one you provide here is a great way for us to get that message out. I love going out and speaking to community groups and civic organizations, and frankly, at this point, anybody that'll listen to me, so I can tell the great story about the things that are happening here.
Yeah.
Word of mouth matters in the hospital settings, and I want people to know that when you walk into this building, you're going to be greeted warmly, and you're going to be cared for by a world-class team of healthcare professionals, whether it's our physicians or our nurses or our security guards at the front door. Right? It doesn't matter what role you fill. There's quite a lot of infrastructure in supporting a hospital facility. We're like a little town, right? We have
No
our
doubt.
police department with our security team. We have our environmental services team that's making sure our buildings are clean and disinfected. And we have our food nutrition team that delivers high quality meals. We like to say we provide good food in a hospital, not hospital food. But all these things matter. I remind the food nutrition team, Keith, that often patients have very little to look forward to in a hospital stay besides when they get to go home and the meal that they might be looking forward to, right? And our food
Right.
nutrition team takes great pride in delivering good food in a hospital setting, right? That matters. It absolutely does. So, yeah, I appreciate you offering this opportunity to share some of the great things that we're doing.
And I'll kind of segue real quick to a more fun type photo, not an accomplishment photo, but actually it is an accomplishment photo as well, if I can pull the right one up. And this is something that, again, you're not just, and I say this, and I said it to you earlier, you're not just in the community, you're part of the community. And this was,
Yeah,
this was great. This was Pinktoberfest, although they had to do it in January.
that's right.
And you guys were rowdy enough to pull on that big truck that was behind you.
Yeah, this is just as one of the many events that we'd like to participate in. My philosophy is that wherever St. Cloud comes together as a community to have fun, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
Whether it's sponsoring or participating as that team did in the truck pull. And by the way, I have to say that team of folks from this Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital team that pulled that truck did it in just a little bit over 22 seconds, which was not far off of some of those teams that were stacked with 6'3" guys that were 230 pounds. So we're a small but mighty team. Yeah, there you go. That motley crew right there. they pull a fire truck almost as well as they provide healthcare. It's fantastic. Yeah,
That's great.
that was a fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun day.
That was a fun day, and it raised a lot of money. And I know that was for Pink Heels, the St. Cloud chapter. That
Right.
and those funds go directly to St. Cloud families in the community, those that are experiencing or are going through treatment, and their families are affected, obviously, as well. So cares for those folks. Big deal. I know we're getting longer into the interview, and I knew we wouldn't. So hopefully get a little bit more time. I want to really talk about something that I know that that is now part of this community because of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, and that is Orlando Health Cancer Institute St. Cloud. If you don't mind, it's about a minute. I've got a video that kind of spells it out.
Yep, absolutely.
Let me do that. Thank you.
With the opening of the Orlando Health Cancer Institute at St. Cloud, we're able to provide comprehensive cancer care to our patients. So that includes any kind of cancer-related infusions, chemotherapy, immunotherapy, pill chemotherapies. We also see non-cancerous blood issues and treat patients with things like IV iron, immunoglobulin therapy.
We could not be more thrilled to have the Orlando Health Cancer Institute team here now in St. Cloud, providing this community with services that to this point have not been available. Struggling with the symptoms and the treatments of cancer is a very difficult experience for everyone. Orlando Health understands how important it is to have these services convenient to our patients so that they don't struggle with transportation to and from their appointments. So I can't tell you how thrilled I am for all the reasons I am to have the Orlando Health Cancer Institute here in my community, in our St. Cloud community.
One of the big benefits of being seen at the Orlando Health Cancer Institute is you get the benefit of the entire system. So you get access to state-of-the-art surgery, access to clinical trials, all the things that you would get at a big cancer center, with the bulk of the treatment being delivered locally close to home.
It's a big deal, right?
That's huge. That's a huge deal. Keith, I appreciate you sharing that video. It reminds me of so many great things that Orlando Health is doing for St. Cloud and this community. One of the tenets of Orlando Health is providing high quality care close to home. That's not just a billboard slogan. That is something that we take very seriously. Healthcare and dealing with healthcare related issues is something that a lot of folks just have to fit into their already busy lives. So I'm just thrilled that Orlando Health is investing in St. Cloud and bringing services like the Cancer Institute team here. As I mentioned in the video, that is something that's never been available to my community, to this community, within the community. And Orlando Health has done that with bringing Dr. George and her team here, managing not only medical oncology issues, but also any blood disorder issues that you have. And, there's something that was mentioned there that I think is important and really translates across the board when you come to St. Cloud Hospital. Not every service is reasonably expected to be provided in a smaller community hospital. The things that can be, we aspire to bring those things, right? In fact, the Cancer Institute is one example, but we just opened up a pulmonary clinic as well, and pulmonology services is something that's been unavailable as conveniently as it is now to this community. So, cancer, pulmonology, and by the way, cardiac and pulmonology issues are some of our highest diagnoses in terms of percentage of patients that come to us who need to stay for care. So not only do we have a wonderful team of cardiologists, 3 in fact, here in that same medical office building that you showed that has a cancer institute, but also now we offer pulmonology services. I mentioned we've got primary care in there, we've got gastroenterology, we've got urology, we've got ophthalmology, we've got an ear, nose, and throat specialist in there. So, I think that really represents what the Orlando Health is willing to invest in to bring to this community. But the bigger point there is when you do come to Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, if there are issues that you're struggling with, or if you're injury is so dramatic that you need more services that we can provide here in your community hospital, we have the full breadth and scope of Orlando Health behind
Right.
us, whether that is greater capacity to manage more complex and need more specialization when it comes to a cancer diagnosis, or if you've been in a traumatic accident and you need trauma care, or you have an issue that is cardiac related that is not often customarily managed in a community hospital setting, we've got Orlando Health, ORMC, Orlando Regional Medical Center behind us, as well as Dr. Phillips Hospital, which we are sister facilities with.
Right.
But if your children are not well and you need to bring them to our emergency department and they need specialized pediatric care, we've got Orlando Health Arnold Palmer Hospital behind us, right? If you're a female or an infant, right, and you're having issues that you would not expect necessarily in a community hospital, we've got Orlando Health Winnie Hospital behind us, right, which is a very short air care ride, 8 minutes from St. Cloud Hospital downtown, or a quick ambulance ride as well. But I think that's a really important point for this community to understand that, not only does my beloved St. Cloud community get to now enjoy the benefits of having Orlando Health here, but my beloved Orlando Health also stands behind Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital for all of those needs that we cannot and really often should not be providing in a community hospital setting. And I think that's a really important point for this community to keep in mind when they choose us and trust us for their care.
Agree. I'll refer back to my 92-year-old mother. She, for so many years, her doctor, who she just loved, was Dr. O'Malley.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
So he retired, and then I would say, because it's such a rich, such a vast resource in Orlando Health, the doctor that came in her primary she still loves Dr. O'Malley, but she really loves her new doctor. And my wife, she goes to see Dr. Trin. And she loves Dr. Trin. And so introduced my mother to Dr. Trin. So now my mother loves her new primary and loves her ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, those are important relationships. It's really, really important. And as we get older, and I can say this because I'm older now, as we get older, it's really, really important that we have relationships with those, not just a primary care physician, but with specialists that can help us, make the right decisions and make adjustments so that we stay as well and healthy for as long as we can.
Yeah, agreed. Well, again, I know we could probably talk for 2 hours, and
we'll just have to do this again, Keith.
Well, that was my segue to an invite. I know it's great though, because it comes full circle back to when we started speaking today. I think it's a huge value, and I know it is, because you are part of the community. It's a huge value to have somebody that knows how the community ticks. You're certainly multi-threaded into to the St. Cloud surrounding areas. So, and it is growing so fast that that you guys work hard at keeping ahead of that. And I know you're doing a great job in that. You can see it. So I hope we do. If you don't mind, I'll reach out to you guys again and do another discussion soon.
Absolutely. I'd love to do this again, because I'd love to share more next time about the expansion plans that we have for this facility. We're really excited about the next few years and all the great things that we're going to be doing here.
All right, there you go. We've got the topic of conversation right there. So when we get together on the calendar, we'll certainly hit on that subject. Well, Brian, I really do appreciate your time today. Like I said, I don't take that for granted today. We were honored that you would speak to us, and I'm sure I'll see you out at some function. It seems like if I don't see you, I see one of your team members for sure.
That's right. I feel like if I don't see you about every 4 days, I get a little nervous.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, I agree. It's good to be out in the community, and we appreciate it.
Amen. That's great. Right. I really appreciate the opportunity, Keith. Looking forward to doing it again sometime.
We will be bugging you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, and today we thank again Mr. Ryan Wetzel, the Vice President of Orlando Health, and the President of Orlando Health St. Cloud Hospital, together making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Keith.
You got it.